Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Last Call podcast. I am your host, Arthur. For those of you who are tuning in from the Bourbon and BS podcast, I appreciate all the love and support and welcome in. But do not panic. You are going to get the same show, same vibe, and same energy you've always gotten from me and our guests. Just a little bit more polished. For those of you who still want a little bit more uncut, unfiltered, and more intimate conversations, make sure you sign up for our Patreon, because for the low price of free $99, you can get access to behind-the-scenes interviews, content, recipes, and just some random ramblings, because that's what we here do for you. As always, guys, thank you for all the love, support. Make sure you like, subscribe, give a 5-star review, share with your friends, and if you'd like to be a part of the show, make sure you contact me at arthur@lastcallpod.com. Once again, that's arthur@lastcallpod.com. Now let's jump into it. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, welcome into the show. Today's a little bit of a bonus happy hour episode. I'm actually in the studio with two friends of ours, and I'm kind of excited because this is following up an episode that we just had for over 2 hours. So there's going to be some loose slips. I might sink some ships. So we're going to see how that's going to go. But we're here with David Lawrence, photographer, ultra awesome human being, creative, and just a special co-host for the creative space that we are going to be interviewing out here in Orlando, Florida, or just in Florida, kind of. And David, how are you, buddy?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, just chilling. We just interviewed one of my good friends. She shared about her tattoo work, and yeah, I'm just chilling. I'm glad to be at Arthur's home with my friend John. I will add one quick thing: is I drove again. It's not a big deal to drive the distance I did. But I got my mind blown because I drove 30 full minutes today and was still in the city of Orlando to get to Arthur's house from downtown Orlando. And I really forget how big of a city
Orlando's
we
massive.
Live in. Like, it's literally massive.
Yeah.
Like, I drove 30 straight minutes and we're still in, like, an Orlando zip code.
Yeah,
so that was mind-boggling.
Greater Orlando. I mean, don't tell when to park that because we're all butthurt about it.
Oh, God. Oh, sorry.
And we're also here, speaking of John, we're here with John, no H, Estrada, coach at Run BMT. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. Just here chilling. To your Orlando comment, iDrive is Orlando. So imagine driving from here, UCF, to iDrive.
An hour.
That's going to take an hour.
I've had so many people from out of town say, hey, man, I'm coming to Orlando. I'm like, what part of Orlando?
Kissimmee.
And they're like, Kissimmee. Is like, motherfucker.
No, Kissimmee's 45 minutes minimum.
Yeah.
From downtown.
Yeah, an hour 15 on a bad day, hour 30.
I have to remind people, like when I visit up north, like, I'm going to be in Orlando soon. I was like, I need to break this down to you guys. Like, what? I was like, it's like the island of Manhattan. It's a borough. I understand that. But from stop end to end is a pretty fucking long distance, right? It's still Manhattan. Yeah. That's Orlando. You might think it's close by because you just assume it's Disney and UCF and that's it. But there's other parts of it, especially when you consider Greater
Orlando. Like somebody telling you they're going to New York, but they're like in Long Island, and you live in like, Upper East Side. That's going to take forever.
Uh-huh. Well, guys, one of the reasons why I want to bring you guys together is to talk about a really cool, some nerdy stuff's going on, some new releases, some new movies, new shows. And there's one show in particular that I really wanted to highlight because I know John is super excited about it. He hasn't told you guys, but this is a great show. It's called The Furry Detectives. Unmasking a Monster. The Furry Detectives. Unmasking a Monster. We're going to get there. Is a whimsical yet thrilling animated or live-action mystery adventure that follows a ragtag team of anamorphic animal detectives as they uncover a sinister plot threatening their peaceful community. Beneath the charming surface of talking animals and playful banter lies a dark, compelling mystery centered around a series of strange disappearances and clues pointing to a legendary creature known as the Monster. John has a really big thing for furries, so I thought when I saw this that he would be excited, as this is one of the times that he gets to talk about his passion projects. This show is going to be on AMC Plus.
I'm not going to talk about that.
And there's also, it was in Sundance TV. John,
can I ask a personal question real quick?
Which one of us?
No, to John.
Oh, okay.
Like, since that's your thing, like, do you make your girl like wear a tail on a date night?
No. I'm not answering any of these questions. I'm not gonna.
All bullshit aside.
I'm not gonna
All bullshit aside. I was listening to a podcast.
Is wild.
I was listening to a podcast as like a true crimes thing, and it like on AMC Plus, the furry detectives. What the fuck are you talking about?
So,
and I knew John was here today, and I was like, I am going to fuck it. Did you look it up?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
We can.
This is pretty crazy, but I'll say this, right? Like, I'm not here to kink shame, right?
No, don't yuck anyone's yum.
But for me personally,
That phrase bothers more people.
I know it does. It's a horrible phrase.
The furry thing is not my cup of tea, and it freaks me out. I'm not gonna lie a little bit, and it's a running joke with my personal friends that they know how I feel about it. You go do your thing. I'm not. That's not my thing.
So we can get to the real stuff, but one really quick story again from just my insane life and brain is. I was the artist in residence for an arts-based nonprofit for 6 years that worked with kids of all ages, mostly in underserved communities. And they would go and like teach them art in schools, and I would go and take the photos. So one day there was a kid who had a tail, and I didn't know. I, honest to God, had no idea that there was a sexual connotation to the phrase furries. And so the kid was like, "Oh, I got a tail." And I looked the kid straight in the eye and go, "Oh, wait, are you a furry?" And all the kids around this one kid, including that kid, start screaming and go, "Oh my God, no, gross!" And the teacher just looked at me and was like, "You can't say that, David." And I was confused. And then I went home and looked it up and realized that it had a sexual connotation to it. I had no idea. I genuinely thought it was just people who enjoyed wearing tails. That was it. And enjoyed pretending to be animals.
I'm not going to comment. No comment from me.
That's fine.
No comment. I'll talk about anything else. No comment.
All
jokes aside, I'm quiet in my life.
All jokes aside, I did not realize that they made a detective show of this. But for a split second as I'm listening to it, I was thinking of the show Don't F With Cats.
Oh, yeah, that one's fucked.
Where,
that was fucked up.
but
super fucked for sure.
Where these cat lovers like ended up hunting down a serial killer, basically, and doing
by accident.
Yeah, and doing the job of police. Which is really telling.
In Canada, from the United States.
Yeah. So I thought for a second, I'm like, is that what they're referring to? So then I went to look it up. And I was like, that is not.
It's a series.
Yeah.
Dog, that's crazy.
I just read it real quick. It was at a Sundance thing. Mm-hmm. Somebody reviewed the first 2 episodes. Real quick, Google search, read it.
No way, man.
I'm not clicking it. Now my algorithm's all messed up.
Remember, I was driving. So when I hear this, I was like, I couldn't pull over to be like, I need to know what the furry detectives were.
Appreciate it. So can you ask me a different question?
So wait, like, do you guys do that on date nights or what?
Me and him? Yeah.
No. John and his girl.
I will jump over this table.
Savannah loves me.
That's cool. We're not going to talk about this running event.
We're going to move on. So at the table, there are a lot of nerds. And at this table, there are people who kind of... I don't know if you're a big Marvel nerd, movie nerd. Or
I'm not,
David.
Unfortunately. I like Spider-Man. That's the only one I've ever seen.
Well, I did want to talk a little bit about some blockbusters that recently came out.
Yeah, go for it.
So recently, James Gunn dropped his new Superman movie. Apparently, it's getting that. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Riri Williams and the Ironheart show, and we're going to then talk about Fantastic Four's excitement and stuff like that. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's summer blockbusters. To me, this is around the time where people start going to movies more often, going out more often, doing these kind of things, and it's almost synonymous with like childhood. Like, I remember being a kid, and the best movies came out during summer. And some of these giant, like the movie Independence Day and all this stuff came out during the summer. Or the movie Sinners just did really, really well. And it was a couple months ago, but it's still considered the summer. So I wanted to kind of see where like John's mind, or if your mind, David, I don't know if you're a big movie or cinephile or a person that like...
I love movies. I have an Enzion Pass, which is our independent theater here. Yes. So I can go literally as much as I want, which is nice.
That's a good thing to know.
Yeah, no, it's great. I can reserve a table for up to 4 people, and I can bring someone with me for free. So literally, if you ever want to see any movie in the Enzion, just hit me up.
Oh, sure. Well, good to know. Not anyone else who's listening to the show. That's us.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
So, John, with the movie. So, one of the things that I thought was interesting is, and I think everyone talk about this, source material. James Gunn's movie, Superman, leans heavily on the actual source material, which somehow is not getting met with good results for some people. There are people who are like, why are you depicting Hawkgirl that way? And they're referring to her being super aggressive, running around, swinging her flail, and being angry and yelling.
I guess I never watched Justice League or Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
The cartoon, because that's what she does.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about like any product being recreated and being true to the source material? Do you think it's important? Do you think it's not? Do you think it or does that matter in what we're talking about?
It depends, right? So if I get directly the same thing from the source material, right? First thing, comic books have been around for how long, right? Action comics, what the 30s? And it's 2025, so do I really want something from the 1950s, 60s, 70s? What era are we talking about, right? So it also depends on that, right? So with comic books specifically, it depends on what era. And then do I really want like a rehash of everything that I've read and seen growing up? No, I don't. How many different Superman movies have there been, or different mediums of Superman? You had Smallville that ran for 10 seasons, right? You had Man of Steel. You had Superman Returns. Then you had Christopher Reeve's Superman movies. Then you had Lois and Clark: The Adventures of Superman with Dean Cain. Then you had Superman in the Arrowverse, right? And then he had his own. You had two Supermen. Then you had the Superman and Lois TV show spinoff. You have all these different iterations.
Shit, you just listed a bunch of shit that I forgot halfway existed.
Of Superman, right? And then I think you also had a Superboy show.
Superboy, I didn't know about that.
An older Superman cartoon where he was like, he lived in like Hollywood land and was like murder. It was a whole gangster movie where Ben Affleck played him in a film. Anyway, there's so many different iterations of Superman. Like even in the past 20 years, where like Superman's been more of like kind of dark because of like Zack Snyder and some of like, some of the recent material, but then also Truth, Justice, and the American Way. Like, he'll jump over like a building, he's faster than a locomotive. That's what a lot of people grew up with. I want a balance of that. I want you to take the source material, make it your own, and make me give a shit about your character. I don't want to see the same rehash everything over again, because you're introducing a new audience into the medium that maybe doesn't know, right? Because Superman is arguably one of the biggest superheroes in existence in the entire world, right? So do I want to see the same thing? Do I want to see another origin story? I don't. I've seen it. Right? How many times have we seen it? I don't want to see it again. I saw 10 seasons of Smallville. I loved it. I don't need to see it again. I saw the animated series of Superman growing up and the Justice League. I don't need to see it again. James Gunn did such a great job with taking obscure characters from Guardians of the Galaxy and Marvel and making me give a shit about actors that I don't really give a shit about, like Chris Pratt, and then making Bradley Cooper Rocket Raccoon. And then also, if you don't know, Bradley Cooper was, spoiler alert, Jor-El in Superman. If you didn't realize, that was Bradley Cooper playing Superman's biological father in the Fortress of Solitude.
Oh shit!
That's Bradley Cooper. It looks kind of weird. It's like a hologram, like kind of like projection thing. But James Gunn does a great job of taking source material, being honest to it, but then also making his own thing. He made you give a shit about Peacemaker. Like nobody knows Peacemaker, and then the Suicide Squad and side characters, and then he also does a great job of like minority characters, like you caring about minority characters, right? Like Mr. Terrific is the third smartest person in the DC universe because he wrote the list, right? He's actually the smartest person. But he made you give a shit about Mr. Terrific, which is fantastic. You only see Mr. Terrific in the Arrowverse, right?
Yeah, I remember.
But Mr. Terrific, the movie for me, like somebody said it the best. Me and our mutual friend Mikey were talking about it. It's like watching an episode of The Adventures of Superman growing up, right? That's what it felt like. So I gave it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Right, so for me, the latest Superman movie got an 8.5. For me personally, it ticked every box for me. And that Superman, to me, that's like wow. Like yeah, he's kind of a Boy Scout, but he also grew up with humans, so he's a little bit softer, right? And it showed you like that he is a quote unquote metahuman, which is a whole argument people who have went online. Oh, he's not technically human; he's Kryptonian. Shut up, right? It's a phrase to talk about superpowered people in the DC universe. If you know your comic books, then you know, right? So the source material, you could deviate from it, like The Last of Us also, and it still be good. Or you could deviate also from it from The Last of Us, and then people be pissed off because it's not frame by frame what you want. I don't care what you want. Give me some good stuff, right? Just give me a different story. It doesn't necessarily need to mirror it 100%. Do your own thing. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 through 3, amazing movies. You did a great job. The Suicide Squad, amazing. Peacemaker, amazing. Superman, amazing. I'm not gonna sit here and bitch and complain. Keyboard warrior, oh my god, the movie sucked, and yet all y'all saw it and all y'all loved it. I don't want to hear it. Sorry.
That was his mic drop.
I learned a lot.
I'm not mad at it. Anyway. David, I know you're not super familiar with these kind of movies, but what's interesting is like just people get so upset. Like one of the stupidest things is why does that character have that haircut? Like they shouldn't have that haircut. Guy Gardner.
That's his haircut.
Yeah, and that's his haircut in every source material up until like later on when people.
The bowl cut.
Yeah, and they're like, I can't believe you did that. You've never read a comic in your life, have you? Like you were just standing there making kind of commonplace. But it's just interesting that these movies during the summer, whenever like end up either creating a franchise for the future or fucking flopping, and we never want to visit those IPs again. But you're not really a cinephile, or like. But you said you go to Enzion. What do you end up watching at the Enzion? Is it like classics or is it all new releases?
It's a mix of both. The other day I saw a movie from the early 90s. I actually accidentally saw it because I thought I was seeing another film. And I just booked the wrong time. I didn't say the name of the film that I was showing. You have to book a table as a member. You have to call and say like, hey, I want this table at this time. And I didn't say the movie name.
So no one got a chance to say, hey, that's not that movie.
So I saw the wrong movie. And
what movie?
So it's about this guy who, it's a love story, who basically is visiting his girlfriend in Spain, and he gets there and he realizes that she's like not attached to the relationship, and he's just like, fuck, I came all the way out here from America, like, are you kidding me? And so they end up breaking up, and he buys a train pass, and he just takes the train all across Europe, and he ends up meeting this girl on the train, and he talks her into just getting off at a stop, and it's just like a 24-hour basically like love story of them, and it results in a 3-part movie, which my friend and I didn't realize this when we saw it, and she's this French girl, and like in the second one I guess they end up like falling in love, and then there's a third one where they like have kids, but it spans over the course of basically 30 years. And if you piece it together from that aspect, like it's really fascinating because you see them in the first movie when they're really young, then you see them like middle-aged.
Oh, so you saw 3 movies? No,
we only saw 1, but like still.
Was it Before Sunrise?
Yes, that one.
Okay. With Ethan Hawke?
Yeah, Ethan Hawke.
Okay, yeah, I've always wanted to see that.
But the thing is, the same director did a movie. I'm really bad at names, but he did. It's called like About a Boy or something like that, or that's not correct. But where basically he, over the course of like 10 or 15 years, did a movie with the same main character as a literal child, and then into adulthood.
Oh shit!
Boyhood, yeah. And so there's like a running theme in all of his movies that sometimes span over like 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Oh shit.
And that was the thing with the Ethan Hawke film, is it literally was like 1995, 2010, 2016 or something like that. And you literally, even though it's a fictional character, you still see these same people at different ages, like as their real selves.
I have to look into this series.
It's fascinating.
It's a 10 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see that trilogy, and I've never seen
Even if the trilogy sucked, the idea is still fascinating.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just, that's such
like, imagine spending close to 30 years on 3 different movies.
Yeah, making a whole fucking life experience.
It's called the Before Trilogy, 3 American romance films directed by Richard Linklater and starring Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, beginning with Before Sunrise and continuing with 2 sequels, Before Sunset, 2004, and Before Midnight, 2013. And the original film came out in 1995.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
So I've always wanted to watch that. So it's kind of cool that you watched that.
I accidentally saw it.
By mistake, you saw a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes movie.
Yeah. I thought I was seeing a Korean film. I think it was like a Korean film. And then it started playing, and my friend and I were like, this is not correct.
Which Korean film? Like an older one or a new one?
New one. I don't remember what it was called.
And this is what, last week?
Yeah.
All right, he's going to look up what's going on at the end.
Something to do with love.
But I do like the NZN as a concept, the whole business, because I know that our friend of the show, Kim, shouts to Kim, fucking frequents there. She does this whole thing right before the Oscars. She sees every single movie that is nominated for best movie, for best film. She'll see every single one to make her own decisions.
Amazing.
And She frequents the Enzion. Enzion or Enzion?
Enzion, yeah.
Enzion. She frequents it. I'll see her check in. I'm watching this. And I've always wanted to be like, hey, maybe I should check that out. It is a little out of my way, but maybe I want to check it out. So I'm glad you're singing high praise, especially if you have a table where you can reserve, like, hey, I'll be there with 4 people. So
it's super fun.
I'm going to look into that. All right, cool. All right. Well, the main reason I did bring these gentlemen onto...
In the Mood for Love.
In the Mood for
4K
Love.
4K restoration.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that the Korean film?
Yeah, it's In the Mood for Love. 25th anniversary, 4K restoration, Hong Kong, 1962.
Oh, Hong Kong. Okay.
I mean, but it is... Doesn't say what. But yeah. Looks good, and then it says.
I was bummed I didn't get to see it, but
each
the other one
screening will be followed by a never before seen available.
I mean, you found something good out of it.
In the Mood for Love. So it also had a short film afterwards called In the Mood for Love. It came out in 2001.
Wild.
Thank you, Enzion website, for having a
shout out to Enzion.
Shout out to Enzion. Not a sponsor, but if you want to hop on here.
Great place to watch films.
Yeah, straight up. Like, I know Kim loves them. I've never been personally, but she.
You've never been?
I've never been.
Oh,
call me, bro. We can go to movie for free.
Go.
Literally.
You tell me, I'll pay for my ticket, and we'll go. I definitely. You could get drinks. They got
really?
A full bar.
Holy shit.
And dinner.
Yeah, we can get food, and they got couches.
The fuck am I missing?
Yeah, so it's actually like a really... the Eden bar outside is really good.
Yeah.
I've driven by the Eden bar.
Yes, that's it.
Oh.
$6 margaritas on Wednesdays or Thursdays.
It's good. We should definitely... But anyway. Yeah.
You guys might fuck around and find us there drunk. I was like, I don't know what movie we came into. We just
recorded an episode there.
Yo, I mean,
that actually pretty sick. I could set that up. I know the manager there. I mean...
well, shit. I guess we might do an episode at the Enzion.
That would actually be pretty fucking sick. That'd be super sick.
I honestly, if we do it, I want to do what you did by mistake, but on purpose. I don't want to know what movie.
True. So that's the thing is that I'd say 90% of the time, I usually will just pick a movie and not see the trailer.
I don't want to know. I want you.
But I've seen some fucked up movies.
I want you to pick a time.
I've literally seen insane out of your mind movies because I just was like, oh, just go pick one.
No. Well, I want you to pick a time spot.
Fair.
Whatever we agree on is like, hey, is there a movie playing that starts around this time? Don't tell me what the movie is.
6 and 9 p.m. most days.
Yeah, just tell them, like, don't tell me what the movie is. What? Don't tell me what the movie
Incredible.
is. I won't look it up. We'll just go.
I'm down. Let's go.
So this is gonna be a fun fucking adventure. This is a tiny adventure here. That and Sears photos. Do I have to howl when we go in there? Is that the...
I just like to howl, you know?
I get it.
You wanted to talk about other summer blockbusters?
Yeah, 2 more before we get to the other reasons why we brought you guys in here today. So the other ones that are coming out, obviously, we are looking at because heroes for some reason never die. The whole superhero thing, but I just want to talk about this. I don't know if you've watched it. It's the show Ironheart with so Ironheart. For those who don't know, David, I'm sorry we're having
never heard of it.
So it's about a character called Riri Williams. She is part of the Marvel cinematic and comic book universe. She is a genius in the comic books. It's a little bit of a different storyline where Tony Stark is her mentor in some of the universes that you see. In the show, obviously Tony Stark is dead in real life. Spoiler alert. Well, in the show, not in real life. He's not real. In that universe, he's passed away, and she was a genius without his assistance. And we're kind of whatever. The show is receiving a lot of negative feedback for following the same plot points similarly than Tony Stark in Iron Man, but is receiving negative criticism where he was praised. John, have you watched the show?
I watched the whole thing.
What are your thoughts out of 10? Because we did that.
So Riri Williams' first thing was introduced in Wakanda Forever in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you didn't know, so she was introduced in the second Black Panther movie, and then they said she's going to get her own series, which I thought was really interesting. She's a newer Marvel character, so like within the past 10 to 20 years, she was introduced by Brian Michael Bendis, who also created Miles Morales' Spider-Man. He's created a lot of black characters because he I think adopted some children.
I think one of his kids is...
Yeah, so Brian Michael Bendis to me is one of my favorite comic book creators. But he created Riri Williams. But anyway, Ironheart out of 10 is tough because I like the ending and I love the villain. The Hood is one of my favorite Marvel villains and played by a Puerto Rican actor who was in Hamilton.
Alexander.
Yeah, so it's tough. I would give it a 7 out of 10. After watching the whole thing, I'll give it a 7. It was a little slow start. But for me, the ending was great, and I think it got a lot of slack because they couldn't relate to the main character. They're like, "Oh, she's doing like villainous activity." I'm like, "You never grew up in the hood. You don't understand what it is to try to like make money, and sometimes it's not legal." And there were times that she did piss me off. I'm like, "Yo, you're so stupid." And I'm like,
but she doesn't have a mentor.
Yeah, and I'm like, she has no mentor. She has nobody to tell her she's right or wrong, and she's wrong most of the series.
95% of the time, she's doing the dumbest thing possible.
And I'm like, what are you doing? You could literally ask the Wakandans for help because you literally were in a whole film. And she said, I'm not doing that. I'm not calling them. I'm like, you're stupid. But you know what? Humans in real life, we're dumb and we do stupid shit.
That part's
true. I'm going to say this. I don't care. If she was a non-black character, if she was a white character, people would have ate up that show and would be like, that's great. Look what they did. If that's how Tony Stark was introduced, right? They would have been like, oh man, this is the best show ever. I think they gave it way too much bullshit because they couldn't relate to the character because it wasn't supposed to relate to you.
I'm going to say the thing that might piss people off that are listening at home. If you they're like, oh, her AI is what was it? She's an orphan. Or she lost her father. Of course, she's a stepfather. Tony lost both his parents. No one had anything to say to that. It's like, oh, she's really cocky and arrogant. Tony literally, his whole fucking story arc is how arrogant and cocky he was. And he ended up in a cave and had to lose everything to be able to fucking be simplified. And this whole this arc is about him showing that he's not selfish. Okay, so we're at the beginning of the arc. Go on. It's like, well, the AI, blah, blah. It's like, so a butler is more refined than her best friend that she lost that she is connected with. She's doing the same thing. She's just doing it from not a place of privilege where she didn't start with $1 billion in her bank account. I'm like, what are we mad about? And one of the actors, Anthony Ramos, said he talks about that plays The Hood, known for the Washington Heights movie.
So talented.
Super talented Hispanic dude. He said he went at haters. And this is why I love when people stand up for people like that. He's like, you're just mad that because I made a show about minorities and you don't connect with it. You guys thought Wakanda was going, like the movie Black Panther was going to fail. Oh, look, it grossed higher than almost every one of your Marvel films that you said you loved. Like you said that no one was going to watch the movie Sinners. Oh, look, it broke almost every record for a horror movie made, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, Anthony Ramos is really addressing this straight up. And I completely concur and agree with him. But the show, it does have some points where I wish could speed up. Last but not least, obviously, we're going to skip over Fantastic Four because it hasn't gone out, but I just want to touch real quick. Why is Pedro Pascal everywhere?
I mean, he's in Eddington, which just came out, right?
Like, I love Pedro Pascal, but that man never sleeps.
He doesn't ever sleep, and he's literally in everything. And for me, he can do no wrong.
He can do no wrong, but he is. Do you follow?
No, I know exactly who he is.
Yeah.
Like, I think that everyone within pop culture is in love with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I love him, but the fact that I've turned on my TV to watch Last of Us, then I watch a movie with him, then I watch another show with him, then I watch
crazy.
Yeah, I'm rooting for this man to win, but like I don't want Pedro Pascal burnout.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he started there.
Yeah,
he played a vampire in one episode.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that. That's so funny.
He's Game of Thrones. Right?
Do you know the Buffy the Vampire Slayer story that I found interesting? He said there was a point where I was going to stop acting because I was failing and I had no money. And then I randomly got a royalty check from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, a residual royalty check, and he said that gave me enough to keep trying to be an actor. To this day, I'm thankful to Sarah Michelle Gellar. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yeah, I don't know if she changed her name when she married.
She did.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
By Sarah Michelle Gellar, not Sarah Michelle Gellar Prince, because she's married to Freddie.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if she hyphenated because she already had too many hyphens.
She probably, I think on her license, she has a different last name, but her acting name is still the same.
Yeah. So like he says, I'm so thankful to her. And then there was a separate interview where Sarah Michelle Gellar was like, "Oh yeah, I love him." She's like, he praised you, Sarah, about how much you meant to him. She's like, I did not know that. And they both were speaking really highly of each other in separate interviews. I thought it was so heartwarming.
I think I would love to hang out with him for a few minutes.
Oh, I would fucking go across the country with him if you said
I would do it, right? I would definitely call him daddy.
He's pretty hot.
Yeah,
but I don't want to burn out on him. And it's like I don't want this to become the thing.
I think he does the right stuff where like he's there and then he's away, right? Like you're gonna get Marvel burnout because he's probably gonna be, depending on how the Fantastic Four movie goes, he's probably gonna be in the Avengers Doomsday movie and all that stuff, right? So he could be the lead. But like The Last of Us, obviously if you watch it, I'm not gonna spoil it. He's not gonna be in the
season 3
seasons, right? He was only in Game of Thrones for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mandalorian, he's not always...
He's the voice, not the face.
He's not always
crazy.
the person. So, but I think that's why, because he's in different things. And right now he's in a lot of different films. Like I'm sorry, like Eddington's not going to be a pop culture like phenomenon.
Definitely not.
It's a movie. I think of a governor.
With him and Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Joaquin Phoenix, yeah. So that movie looks cool, but it's not going to be like a blockbuster. But he's in it. I want to watch it because of him. I have a love-hate relationship with Joaquin Phoenix.
It's playing at Enzion.
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, right now this week.
Okay, all right. Well, shit. Once again, shouts to the Enzion. Apparently, I apologize for not knowing the extent of your game. I should have been better versed.
We gotta go.
Well, fuck.
But Ironheart, like, it could have been better, right? And then if you haven't seen it, to me, it's the end that makes it like good. They introduced a big character into the lore of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is the whole reason. And I love the hood, and I love the representation of like a non-binary character, and then a Puerto Rican character with Anthony Ramos playing the hood. I've always loved the hood.
And he did a great job of coming off as a scary villain.
Fantastic job. He is such an underrated actor / performer because he performs on Broadway. He can sing, he can dance. He was in Transformers. He was in Twisters. Mm-hmm. He was in Blind Spotting. He was in a bunch of stuff.
Blind Spotting. Oh my god. Yo.
Yeah. So
Blind Spotting is such a fucking good movie.
Yeah.
David, if you have not seen Blind Spotting, oh my, yes, the TV show is good. It was such a fucking fantastic movie, and David
Diggs.
Yeah, David Diggs is in it.
It's my nickname.
Yeah,
and he's from Hamilton also.
David Diggs in particular.
Oh my god, I love.
Those all that stuff has kept me like going. I've seen all of it. There's a little bit of Marvel fatigue, but I like the ending of Ironheart, and I want to see more of the hood, and I want to see how it connects to everything else like Spider-Man.
Yeah, for those who haven't seen the show, Anthony Ramos is, like John said, he's a very charming, charismatic, great-looking dude. So I know that I've heard other actors talk about this, where like it's hard to make that transition into being serious and being seen as scary. Or we talked Matthew McConaughey in previous shows. We've talked about how his transition to True Detective was difficult. Because Dallas Buyers Club was difficult because people saw him as pretty boy, pretty face, like a face character. If for wrestling references, is it Babyface? Babyface. Yeah. They saw him like
rom-coms like Failure to Launch and stuff like that. Yeah.
But this Anthony Ramos dude, young in the game, for some reason, like it's a very subtle shift in like how he's like holding his face, and where you like, oh, you're the bad guy. It's like, oh, okay, like you're not a small bad. It's like, all right, that's a fucking killer's mentality. Even like shifts of like a news article plays in the background. It's like, no, we're going to do that tonight. Like, all right, my man, you're like 2 inches shorter than the guy you just told that to, but okay, I believe it.
Go off.
Like, go off, King. Short King. But outside of that, the last but not least, because it's just a summer blockbuster I've been dying to talk about with friends. I don't know if you saw it, David, the movie Sinners.
Did not. No, I'm out of the loop.
So
you're definitely out of the loop.
Yeah.
The reason why I thought you might have appreciated it was because of the filmography, like the videography of it, because it's shot in 2 different, very unique formats where you can watch it in a giant ultra wide IMAX theater. That's pretty bad. But it shot it in this. Like, we're gonna look into. John's gonna look up. It looks like, but Ryan Coogler. He did a really good job of making it so the film gave you aspect ratios that were fitting for what the scene was building. At the same time, also giving you an expanded amount of like cinematography. So the lighting was gorgeous, everything was gorgeous, the world building was gorgeous, and I like the.
So they used, according to the AI on Google, right, the Ultra Panavision 70 and IMAX 65 millimeter film. So you could have seen it with like an old school projector. They did a small release. And so like, growing up, like if you grew up in the 80s or 90s and you were born, you hear the film. They had some showings with that. And I think that's like, they did that with The Hateful Eight. With a lot of Quentin Tarantino films, he does like that. And Christopher Nolan does the same thing. Where it's like old school. And you get that kind of feel, but then also you get the IMAX feel, and it's like you can watch it different ways. He also, if you didn't know, he's the guy that did the Black Panther films, right? Executive produced Ironheart. Yeah, I
didn't mean to go full circle, but these are the hottest movies right now that would come out. That I feel like if you haven't, do yourself a favor, watch Sinners, the movie that got the biggest amount of flack, and he got shit because studios were talking shit. We could do this on a bonus side, but studios were talking shit because he worked out a deal with the Warner Brothers, I think, or whoever, the actual studio itself, saying that he basically gets the rights back to the movie in 10 years.
Hell yeah.
And he gets a huge amount of money up front, whether the movie does money or not.
That's incredible.
And it pissed off a bunch of movie studios because they said other directors are going to ask for this.
Yeah.
And Ryan is like, this has been given and afforded to other studios. It was all right. He said this has been given to other studios, to other directors. So I don't understand why the big deal is. I knew what he was saying. Like, I know why you're making this a big deal because I'm not a Steven Spielberg. I'm not a fucking Cameron. James Cameron. I hate him so much because of all the shit he talks about every other industry, every other kind of genre movie, and he takes fucking forever to release his sequels.
At this point, I don't care about Avatar.
I don't.
I didn't even watch the latest Avatar because I'm so over it. I don't care anymore.
Yeah. We could do this all day. But Ryan Coogler did a fucking great job of not finessing, but working out his worth. I brought you nothing but hits. I want to get paid like
it's amazing.
And people are pissed. The movie's fantastic. Go ahead and watch it. Enough of that. That's just kind of a little bit of a bonus because I think that those summer blockbusters are great. David, what have you been working on recently? I know that part of the reason why I brought you guys in is that you have something coming up that I want you to share with everyone at home. Tell us about this.
Yes, so lots of things, but I think in particular what you are referencing is
that I'm not running to.
I pray to God that you would run to it, but I am doing a running festival called Run the Weekend. It's in the Milk District in Orlando, Florida. It's hosted by Easy Luck and Whippoorwill, which is a coffee shop and craft beer bar that share the same space. And yeah, it's a 2-day running festival. 95% of it is completely free. The only part that isn't free is there is a unsanctioned race at the end of it all that is put on by On Shoes. And there is a fee for just covering just basic things of setting that up because it's a whole production. But beyond that, the whole idea of the festival was just to create space for people of all identities, genders, walks of life to run. So there's going to be 4 community runs, August 8th and 9th, all paces. We're going to have a caboose at each one so that like literally if you come and run a 13-minute mile, like someone's running with you, you're not behind. Even if it takes you a long time, it's totally okay. We're going to have a panel that my friend John, who's here, is going to be speaking on. The panel is entitled How Do We Keep Going? And it's just taking people through stories of different athletes and everyday people, and them sharing how they overcame obstacles in their lives, whether that was like an athletic obstacle or a personal obstacle, and then just talking about what tools and tips people have to basically help others get through similar obstacles in their everyday lives. There's going to be a communal cold plunge, which is really sick.
What?
Yeah. So a local rehab center for like athletes, an athletic rehab center is going to be setting up a communal cold plunge for people to go through a cold plunge experience. And that's going to be really rad. I'm very excited about that. There's 2 races. One of them is what I've entitled a midday heater, and I want to make people suffer. So we're doing it at the hottest point of the day. It's 2 miles long, about 2.5 miles. It's 2 laps around Lake Underhill. It's sponsored by Hydrix, which is a hydration company. And halfway through, which is 1 lap around Lake Underhill, you have to take a shot of hot sauce. And then you have to wash it down with a shot of Hydrix, and then do your last lap as fast as you can. There's going to be 6 winners altogether, 3 male, 3 female. And then at the end of the night, we're going to be closing it out with an unsanctioned race that is led by Out of Pocket, which is employees from the shoe brand On. And what they're going to be doing there is they're getting 2 life-size dice. They're like are as big as people, and they're going like literally they're like 4 feet wide, and they're going to be rolling them. There's going to be, from my understanding, 30 to 40 different teams, and each team will roll the set of die, and whatever number you get is the amount of times you have to run in a circle around the parking lot, and whoever finishes first gets to go to the next round. I believe there's going to be 12 rounds if I remember correctly. And then the winner gets a full custom made on body kit, which will be super sick.
Body kit?
Yeah, so like hat.
Like a racing.
Yeah, hat, shirt, like shorts, shoes.
God damn.
Yeah, and so it's gonna be really sick. We're gonna have food there. It's literally the whole festival.
That's tough.
It's 130 meters in the parking lot.
Yeah,
and it's $40 per team.
Yeah, but everything else is free. All the communal runs, the mid-afternoon, the panel, everything's free. You just have to RSVP. We're gonna have a portrait studio set up the whole entire weekend. So anyone that RSVPs can get a free portrait. Sponsored by a local law firm, which is pretty cool.
Go ahead. Who's the local law firm?
Irvin and Irving, who I suggested that you should interview. I'm
100% interested, man.
Yeah. Andrew's really fun.
He's a cool guy.
This is the third time you've done this, though. I'm interviewing you about you and you bring up something.
I know. Andrew loves to party. I don't know that that's good for people to share as a lawyer, but Andrew likes to bring the party.
People have day job and they can enjoy.
He's always at Modest Wine. Sometimes we'll stay there all night and come drunk over to a run, which is absolutely incredible. He runs like a 6-minute mile. He's a beast. Just fucking maniac.
6 minutes? What the fuck? Yeah. I can't even call an Uber that fast.
He's a very humble person.
Yeah, super cool, dude.
Has a few kids, great wife. The interaction I've seen with him and his family, he just seems like such a great person. Mm-hmm. Brings a lot to the running community. Helps a lot of stuff with Run BMT, sponsors a lot of stuff. So it's cool to see him involved with the event to show how much he cares about Central Florida and running. And he's just a cool guy, man. Just watching his videos about what he talks about with his law firm and running in the streets and traffic and stuff is pretty funny.
He's been doing a whole video on laws with pedestrians, and he did one the other day that I absolutely loved. That he was like, "So you're driving or you're walking, and you see a stop sign. What do?" And then it pauses, and he goes, "Stop." And I was just like, "That's amazing! Absolutely incredible."
I love that. Well, I'm glad we're going to talk about the lawyer Irving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about him and probably get him on the show. But I love that.
Yeah, it'd be great.
So I love the fact. But I love the fact that you put this together, and it felt very organic. You've had this big backing, you've had all these people that are interested, and you put it together. When you hit me up "Hey, I'm doing this thing," I was like, "I'll be there, whatever the fuck you need." I appreciate that. Not running. Though.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna make you run. It's
that's
okay.
the limit. That's the limit. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I think that's been the cool thing. Is I kind of joked about this, but I wrote this in our initial post, and the project is called Run the Weekend. On Instagram, it's Run the Weekend Project, but. Diplo, the DJ, the famous DJ, and music producer, started a running festival, or he started a 5K that he would do around his DJ sets.
Yeah.
And then Travis Barker started a similar one that he would do around Blink-182 shows, and where you do a 5K, and they would have cold plunges, and people would teach breath work and meditation. And I saw both of those, and I was just like, I want to do that. And so while it's was kind of a joke, I was like, man, I want to start my own running festival. And that's what it's turned into. And I should add, I'm doing it with my friend Mark. Mark is another photographer and creative. We're kind of spearheading this whole thing. His thing is called
Backbone.
Yeah, Backbone Media. Thank you. I always want to call it Black Matter Media, but that's the Run Club. Yeah. Backbone Media Group. And he focuses a lot on documenting athletes and people in the yoga space, but mainly just runners and athletes. Does a lot with Lululemon. He photographs all of their ambassadors. So him and I are going to be doing the photo studio, and I've been doing most of the planning of all this, but where it's helpful is that we have an agreement that if there's a new partner or anything else, we just have to talk about it. So that really is helpful to slow me down, because if there's any opportunity, instead of just saying immediate yes or no I would, even if he's not involved in all the planning and day-to-day things, I have to literally send him a text message or call him and be like, hey, what do you think about this? Is this a good idea or a bad idea? And we chat about the pros and cons of it. So he's definitely like super involved in this, even though I pitched to him the idea of it originally. Like he's still just like equally a partner. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I think the most exciting thing is that like it's free. There's a lot of people in the community that are involved, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. I think it's really dope to start something and with a goal in mind of like expanding this network. And you see these communities, you have separate run clubs, you have people that are doing these things that are, sometimes feel isolated. There are some kind of people searching for people with the same frame of mind and like that. Like you see cons, you see like what's it called? There's one for, so we obviously know Comic-Con, we know this esport, like the whatever the one for fitness ones. There's a con for everything. There's communities, and being able to go to a festival with people with the same frame of mind, that's awesome. Yeah. And you do have some cool panelists too. Outside of John, I know that you also have a DJ that's going to be there that I saw.
Yeah, the whole weekend, which is wild. She volunteered to do the whole weekend, which blew my mind. I don't want to like. I'm like very sometimes to a fault. I don't want to like over ask people for things. And she was just like, I'll do the whole weekend. Like, you have events going on the whole time. I'll just fucking be there. And I was like, okay. So, yeah, literally, I need to just reach out to her. But she's going to be there from start to finish. The first...
Hey guys, here at the show, we ask that you follow 3 simple rules that'll save your night and possibly your dignity. Rule number 1, don't drink and drive. Seriously, Uber exists for a reason. If you wouldn't trust yourself to build IKEA furniture after 3 bourbons, you definitely shouldn't be behind the wheel. Rule number 2, avoid Amazon one-click buy. Drunk you thinks a medieval suit of armor is a great investment. Sober you, not so much. And then try to explain it to your credit card company then. And finally, rule number 3, do not text your ex. Look, they had their chance, and you deserve better. No one ever found happiness at the bottom of a 2 a.m. I miss you text. Move on, hydrate, and remember, you're better than that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Text literally anyone else. Text your Uber driver that you miss them, but not your ex. Seriously, all jokes aside, stay safe, do the right thing, and take care of yourselves. All right, guys, now back to the show. All right, so we're back. David, who is the DJ that you were talking about?
DJ Silva, baby.
What's her Instagram handle?
It's DJ_Silva, SILVA. And I found out about her because, so this is a little bit of a wild story. I'm
listening.
I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. So like, people may or may not know, I'm a full-time freelance photographer and artist. And so like any business, you have ups and downs, times that are busy, times that are slow. I went through and just looked at all of my clients and like kind of studied like, what are the occupations of people that have hired me? And one of them was therapist. So I searched Orlando therapists on Instagram, and I literally just started messaging Orlando therapists, unrelated to the Run Club or anything else. I was just like, here's my website. If you ever need a portrait, let me know. So I messaged this one girl. She starts talking with me. She's like, oh man, this stuff's like really cool. Like, I see you run. And I was like, yeah, actually, like, I'm starting a running festival. And she was like, cool, I'm a Lululemon ambassador. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. And I was like, oh, so you're running? And she was like, no, actually, like, I teach like weightlifting and like fitness classes. And I was like, oh, dope. Like, that's super cool. I was like, I'm for sure going to follow you. And so I followed her and I started seeing her videos. And so that's DJ Silva that you're showing, but her name is Caro, and she's probably tagged in a bunch of DJ Silva's posts. But her whole thing is, not only is she a therapist, she does these events that I believe are called Move to the Beat. And they're all like weighted exercise classes that are in tandem with the DJ.
Oh shit.
And so I saw her post a video of that, and I was just like, dude, like the vibes are immaculate. And so I reached back out to her and I was like, hey, I know you're not a runner, but the events that you're putting on look super cool. Like, would you consider running? Even though like the people that come are not runners, would you consider like doing like a very like introductory short run at my festival? And she was like, 100%. And then I was like, hey, do you know a DJ? And she was like, actually I do. She does all my events. And that was DJ Silva. And so like this girl does all these fitness events, like literally all around Orlando.
Okay.
And so that's how I got to know her. And super, super sweet girl.
That bike thing that they're doing at CrossFit?
Yeah, she does all kinds of fitness things.
That's
it's wild.
Dope. But you it seems like you have people who are trying to be about it, man. I love that for you.
So yeah, there's we were saying earlier that we just shout it out. So Friday night there is Caro, or Carolina, I believe is her full name. She has a meetup or like a brand called Wear the Damn Shorts, and the whole entire purpose of that is to just like exactly that, encourage people to wear the damn shorts, just get out there regardless of what people think. And then we're gonna have DJ Silva, we're gonna have a portrait studio, and then we're also going to have a food vendor there. It is a female owned chef, or like a female owned food vendor called Tume. She's really rad. Her name is Allie. She's going to be doing all the food in the evening. Saturday morning, we're going to start out with Chill Miles Collective, which is a local run group. And then we're going to have Sauce Stash, who is a local food influencer and marathon runner who's going to be leading his own run. From there, we're going to have a race in the afternoon, which is in collaboration with Hydrix, which is a local hydration company. And then in the evening, we're going to have a run by Mental Miles, which is another run group that focuses on mental health. So like all these different people, just want to shout out all those, but there's so many different like members from like the running and fitness community, and it's going to be really rad.
I'm writing to make sure that we add to the show notes every one of those handles and everyone.
There's probably like 5 more because I'm forgetting them all.
100%.
Yeah,
it's hard to remember it all. Especially we just been drinking for like 3 hours, so let's also be honest.
I'm great. I've got 15 more drinks in me. We're fine.
We're fine. But we'll put it all in the show notes, guys, to make sure that you get to follow, and if you are about it, make sure that you hit them up and like support all of it, because it's a lot of people in this community. And I'm not gonna lie, as a non-runner, I don't forget. I don't always realize how big of an impact like running and running communities have, and how many people are associated with it.
Me too.
And you see those like there for a while there was like the running joke online and all the social media things about like, hey, the running clubs are the new like Tinder, like the Tinder profiles.
They are. I mean, they were. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about now, but they definitely were.
Yeah, at some point they were, and it was like, what are you talking about? I was like, they're like 25 very successful, focused people spending hours together, sweaty. Oh. Okay, I can see this. I can see this because typically people who are that dedicated and focused on running are also very focused in their lives, and people who are willing to do these things are also speak to their like frame of mind. So you're around those same thought process type of people, like that works out. I do want to talk about one of your panelists, probably the least popular one. It's probably the one that smells the worst.
Looks the worst for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's it. So smell was not the
problem. I was
trying
to think of like the worst thing to look at.
John's like, I don't care about
really
smelling
bad.
John's like, I don't care about smelling bad, but my fit is tight.
John No Age?
John No Age. John, you're going to be a panelist there. How you feeling, man? Like, are you going to be there as a coach representing Run BMT?
Talking about my running experience. I have a ton of running experience.
From your problems?
And life experience.
Right. So it's a combination of both, and just also the representation piece. Kind of like a little bio that you released, David, earlier, talks about. I'm just a person out here just trying to show that like I want there to be a space for everybody, right? So like a space for somebody that looks like me. I'm a bald Puerto Rican man, right? And sometimes running spaces don't look like that. And I just want people to know that there's always a space for everybody, and they can look at me and be like, oh damn, okay, I can be a part of this community, right? That's like my purpose, and I've always loved the running piece and the motivation piece when it comes to running. Like I'm a big motivator. That's literally says it in my profile on Instagram. Like motivation is like my second language. I love that. Like I love to help people achieve their goals, and I get fulfillment from that. Like when you achieve your goal, and I helped you any sort of way, whether it was a pep talk, whether it was like I programmed your workouts, or I was just there for you through some stuff, and you achieve your goals. Like I love that. I've always loved that. I've always been good at motivating my whole life, whether it was in previous jobs that I had, or just as a friend, helping people like, hey, yeah, you can do it. You're talking about wear the damn shorts. I'm like, yo, do the damn thing. You know what I mean? Like my whole they joke with me and run BMTs. Like I say, you did that. When I give like a pep talk, I'm like, y'all did that, right? Like y'all put the work. I might have made the workout, but you guys put in the work to do it. And sometimes that's what people need to hear. Showing up, that's step one. That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Showing up to the event, showing up to practice is the hardest part. And once you're there, like just put in the work.
I love that, man. And I'm proud of you for going up there and being vulnerable. And I know that as much as you are a loud man, being in a panel and everything, I know it's kind of tough to also be up there and kind of be vulnerable in front of a big crowd too. So I'm proud of you for that. And I'm glad that you guys are getting to partner and work together on that. And I'm very happy that David talked to you about it, because there was a brief moment you're like, oh, I don't know, it's the first weekend I have off. David, do you want to know what I told him? Do you know what I told him?
Do it.
Tell him
Don't
what
be
I said.
dumb.
Tell him what I said. Yeah, I was like, shut the fuck up. You better be there. I'm like, if I'm going to be there to
I just had to make sure I didn't have
I know.
engagement.
I told him I don't fucking care.
August is very...
I'm very aggressive about my friendship. Very, very.
Yeah, what are you doing, John? The fuck?
Yeah. I don't.
2 concerts. Someone that is asking you to share on a panel, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go to a concert. When?
One was a gift for my fiance, a Christmas gift. So Attack on Titan is going to be, they're doing a symphony thing at Dr. Phillips.
That's pretty cool.
That's actually really fucking cool.
We were going to go to...
Yeah, fuck me.
This comedian...
Yeah, you got to bring up really something cool, right?
Yeah.
They're different weekends. Also, we have a baby shower that we are going to.
You guys are having a baby?
No, friend of ours.
I don't run my
Just kidding.
calendar.
That was a joke. They're not having a baby. Sorry, Silvana. She'll beat me up.
I don't run my calendar.
We have a baby shower that we're going to. I'm going to see Morgan J. He's a comedian.
To be clear, he pointed at me when he said, we're going to a baby shower, and I looked confused.
You're literally gonna be there.
I think I know who you're talking about. I know there probably is. I probably said yeah.
No, I just wanted to make sure that I could honor someone's time.
I know.
I'm the big, like,
I know, but I have to give you a hard time. Don't give me logical reasoning here.
I can give you, and that's why
God.
To
Rip.
talk about from the previous episode, I'm not for everybody.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I just say it, right? And we just talk about it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. What David's trying to do, David and Mark trying to do to show, why they love running. Right?
Yeah.
And why other people should be involved in it. And that it's there's a lot of accessibility if you don't think there is. There's a lot of different groups out there that are free.
Yeah. And I love the idea of the panel because there are so many people who don't know someone else's story, and there might be sometimes a gap where like I can't connect to everyone because no one has my same experience. But even if the experience isn't word for word your exact journey, like I think there's value in hearing someone else's experience and them being vulnerable. Yeah. Like even if it's just the fact that someone went up there and shared that story, it's like shit, maybe I should get my ass off the couch.
7 years ago I told my ACL, and that like paused everything for me. That was 7 years ago in like 5 days.
Yeah.
Right. So that's like what reignited everything for me because I was just kind of in a slump and I was trying to get back into shape, and then I tore my ACL, and then I got back into it, and it like changed a lot of things in my life.
It was rebuild. What was it? The phrase you used to say?
Redesign, rebuild, and reclaim is from Seth Rollins in WWE because he tore his ACL and his MCL and his meniscus, and I tore my ACL, messed up my meniscus, and I strained my MCL jumping a fence.
And thanks to the powers of necromancy,
I have a cadaver ACL in my right knee, which is why if you ever hear Arthur talk about me having one leg or being peg leg
or a zombie knee,
because I have a cadaver ACL. That was a whole journey. Like I ended up,
that's literally insane.
Started dating my fiance during the time she took me to the hospital. We were just friends. I said, hey, I need somebody to take me to the hospital because I think I just blew out my whole leg. I think I broke something. She took me there, took care of me, took me to surgery, and now we're engaged.
Hell yeah.
That was 7 years ago.
If you want to meet the one, get injured.
Yeah, if you want to meet the one, that's basically what you do. See who's going to take you to the hospital.
Oh my God. Yeah. I think she would take me to the hospital, but she also, just that thing. Rosette. Yeah, she'll be there for me 100%. I got shoulder surgery, and we were like, yeah, it's going to be, the doctor's like, it's going to be tough to wash yourself. And I was like, fuck, I'll figure it out. And the smile on her face, she's like, I'll do it. I'm like, relax. like relax. But the ones that loves you will be there, but.
Yeah, they'll be there. They'll find time to make time. Right?
Yeah.
To go back to what we were talking about previously. So even if I wasn't going to be at the panel, which I am, I would have been there to support in any way that I can. Because it's very important to you, and it's also important to show like how united the running community can be under the right circumstances, and that there's a bunch of stuff out there for everybody to get into the fitness space, because that also has to deal with a lot of like mental health stuff. Mm-hmm. Is like your physical fitness and your mental health go together, and that's a good outlet. And you can meet. I've met so many different friends like you, David. Like we met during running.
Yeah, all my closest friends.
And it's crazy that you meet in a very intimate space and are very vulnerable people, and then they just become your best friends. And I want other people to experience that. And that's always like my goal when I talk about running and why I love it. I tell people, I'm like, just look at all the people that I've met and I've talked to. I've met so many people I would have never met. I got my, like in the profile you talk about how I started my new career like as a coach, but I also started like a new professional career outside of coaching after working in the same place for 21 years. And one of my running friends, like I've already shouted her out, Kelly, helped me get a new job because of that. I would have never got that job if she didn't redo my resume and have me reapply to stuff. Or none of my running friends would have heard me bitch and complain for 18 months that I can't find a job and that I want a new job. And you guys were there through it. You guys were there through my journey of like me talking about, I'm going to propose to my fiance after I run the San Francisco Marathon. And that was 2 years ago in a few days, right? Like,
it's crazy.
It's crazy how much running has been a big part of my life. And it's just changed. Like I'm almost 40 and now I'm going to be, I'm a running coach now. I just got my second athlete today. I just had a meeting with them today, so I now have 2 individual athletes on top of the training blocks that I do with Run BMT, and it just feels great to like sit down and talk to people about their goals and what they want to do, and it's a very fulfilling thing. And if somebody wanted to pay me the amount that my day job pays me to do that, I would definitely do it in a heartbeat. But it's also not about the money. But then I could definitely devote more time to helping people achieve their goals, which is for me is what it's about. Right? Yeah. I would love to like be able to run with every single person that I coach and have unlimited time with them. That would bigger picture. That would be the goal for me. That would be just a job, period. And then I could just focus on how can I help you get to your goals. And then I can get you there. Even if you don't think so, I will. You talk to me for 5 minutes, you're gonna believe it, and we're gonna get there. It might take some time, and some work, but you'll believe it. Okay. And you can do it.
All right, look at you. You're out here. You're doing that's powerful. The fact that you that focus, and I've seen you through that journey, and you've overcome those things. Because I've always disliked people that, and I hate to say this. I've always disliked like coaches and influencers. I've never seen like struggle and say like, oh, I can get you fit in like 30 days, blah, blah, blah. I was like, but you've never known like what it is to like be injured. You, John, have experienced injury, having to rebuild it, to start from the bottom and start all over, to then have to almost damn near relearn how to do something that you loved and were passionate about. During later stages in life, you weren't 21 where you can bounce back easy. I don't like praising you too much because you get a big head, but I do think that it's important for. I think that helps drive those clients and your athletes to know that you mean it and you're coming from a space of like actual adversity. Because some of these people who come to run coaches aren't like natural runners. They're learning for the first time. They're trying to try something new. They're trying to go on their athletic journey, whatever it might be. It sucks to get advice from someone who's never known my struggle and then be like, yo, you just gotta get up every day and do it. Motherfucker, what? Like that's the most generic thing I've ever heard in my life. Like I've seen like fitness coaches and all that. There's like they've been athletes their whole existence and known no other life. How are you going to relate to someone who has never been an athlete and now wants to get into that? It's very tough. It could work, but it's very tough. Me as an athlete, I would appreciate the person who's known adversity. Like, because there's something you could relate to that there, where I wasn't always like a super athlete, an ultra marathon. David, I hate the fact that you run ultra marathons. Every single fucking time I even say it out loud, it sounds like I'm making some shit up.
To talk about like more of what you're talking about, like it's good to know that they've gone through adversity, but then there's a lot of these people, they have no certs, like no certification.
Those people online, those fucking influencers and all that shit.
I have a cert from UESCA, so the United Endurance Sports Coaching Academy, for endurance coaching. Right. So not only do I have the experience, I've been running my whole life. Like I actually it's like science-backed information that I have. And some people, you ask them, hey, so how are you an expert on this? They don't have any certifications.
I've been doing this my whole life. Oh, so someone else has been coaching you.
Like, have experience, but have you actually sat down and like studied the craft, right? And I'm not saying that they don't know anything.
Oh, of course not.
Like, I got that certificate. I'm working on some other stuff right now too that I want. Some PT stuff and then some strength training for endurance runners. I'm looking into all that stuff because I want more things so I can help the athletes even more. Because I can only coach to the running piece. I can't coach to strength piece because I'm not certified in that. And yeah, I could, but then I'm not. That's not in my wheelhouse, right? And then what if you get hurt? I'm not. You listen to me. Maybe you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Right. Or maybe like
that's responsible of you too.
So and that's the hard part, So coaches with experience and that have been there, like it's tough, and sometimes it's hard for me to run, because I get busy, or I'm just like hella tired. So I get it. So I tell my athletes, I'm like, hey, you're having a day. Let me know. We can move some stuff around, right? Like we're not like professional athletes, right? Like this isn't your job. This is something you want to do on your time for health or for goals, and I'll help you get there. And I'll be honest, I'm not gonna. Oh, you have a vacation coming up? Cool, enjoy it. You want to run? If not, then don't run. Well, you can run when you get back. It's okay. And other coaches will like yell at you, and then just be like, "Well, you can't go on these vacations. You have these goals." I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, you have a whole life. Like, so my coach, Coach Jermaine, like he knows I have a life.
Whole ass life.
And he'll be like, "Oh, John, you're gone for the weekend." He'll write on my training thing, "Enjoy the weekend." He'll even put date night. Go take your girl out. Don't run tonight. Go take Silva out. I'm like, man. Yeah.
I enjoy that. I love that. But I know that this was. We're looking forward to the event. We're going to make sure that we post about the event in advance, but and drop all the details in the show notes and all that. David, where can everyone find you? Follow the event and all that.
Yeah. So on Instagram, Instagram.com/run the THE weekend project.
Not like the weekend, the guy who you thought was banned.
Yeah, no, not like the weekend, like the band or the rapper, singer. I had no idea. I'm pop culturally illiterate.
WEEKEND.
Yes, project. The weekend project, or no, run the weekend project on Instagram, and then on there is a link to Sweat Pals, which is a platform to RSVP. Please RSVP. If you RSVP, that enables you to sign a waiver to run and participate in our portrait studio and the cold plunge and everything else. So please do it. Namaste. I'm excited to see you. Bye.
We'll be there, man. So definitely check that out. John, where can people find you and everything you're doing? And if they want to, what's your address, bro? You want me to drop the Addy? I'll drop the Addy.
Drop it, dog. He's in Altamont.
I'm going to drop the Addy. Don't live in Altamont.
He's in Winter Park.
Okay, anyway. Orlando, right? Since we had that joke.
No, wait. I thought it was actually Winter Park proper.
Instagram, JONE Quest. So Johnny Quest, because people still say Joan.
With no H.
Yeah, John with no H. So
I love that that's how you were introduced on the panel, by the way.
Yes. So every time I go to a restaurant, they go, "Who's this for?" And I go, JON, and they stare at me. So then I have to say JON, John, and they'll still write an H on my coffee cup or on my food order, and I'm like, no way, this is for me.
So listen, motherfucker.
Listen, I said J-O-N. And they think I'm a jerk. But yeah, Johnny Quest on Instagram, and if you have, if you're interested about coaching, you can DM me there, or john@blackmattertraining.com. You can email me there.
Oh, all those howls are howls of support. So guys, make sure that you check them out. We will be there in attendance. I might wear the damn shorts. I don't know. I don't have to make them in my size, but it will be a lot of fun to see this community. Even if you're not an avid runner like myself, it is still something cool to see and be around these very focused individuals with unique lives and getting to know someone else on network. So make sure that you support that. Show up, even if it's just to check it out. If you like what we are doing, make sure that you follow us on Instagram at The Last Call Pod. Everywhere you can find your podcast is The Last Call Podcast with Arthur. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this. If you want to sign up for our Patreon for the low price of free $99, you can get access to these behind the scenes bonus episodes. Episodes will drop early, and we are going to start dropping a lot more content now that the people are on board with the brand and now that there's not curse words. So you'll be seeing a lot more there. But if you do want your uncut and unfiltered content, make sure that you sign up for that Patreon so you can still get that content that you enjoy. Take care, guys. Drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Avoid Amazon one-click buy, and don't text your ex unless it's to share my show with them. Then it's perfectly fine. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. Today's episode was brought to you by Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdity Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had, from flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business. I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Burn, Termite, and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.